This is Amazon. Here are your price targets for Thursday. We ended the day at 185.99, down 0.58%. To the north side from where we are takes us back to resistance and a potential take profit area at 186.31. Above that at 3 standard deviations and another level of resistance, 187.13. And finally, at 4 standard deviations, 187.97. To the south side, back at the middle of the trend, and from where we are, support takes us to roughly 184.61, 182.94, 182.09, and 181.29. Looking left, we've got a couple gaps to fill. This one, just a tiny one. We gap down, so I will anticipate a gap to the upside when it fills. That will take us to roughly 3 standard deviations. So that's very doable at 187.05. This gap already closed. We gapped down, so I anticipate a gap up, and it did do that, filling at roughly 186.34. Note the bounce down at support, sell off at resistance, bounce at support, and then we've made our way up, grinding up and then back down. This is resistance, making our way back to support, and then grinding sideways at resistance, and then falling back down to support. Buy in here, sell off, buy in, buy in. Now we have a gap that will take us to the downside at roughly 176.22, closing out at 173.72. Ignore this line. This is a previous support line, support and resistance that I mark out. I'll show you what we look like on the daily time frame. As you can see, I've marked this out many times. I've got to go through and clean out my chart here. And it looks like we have a mini gap to the south side at 108.27. We are not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. We are in an upward channel on the daily time frame. Again, flip it to the different time frames to give you different buy and sell signals. And it looks like the gaps that I pointed out a long time ago. Okay, I'm gonna have to make this a little bit bigger so I can see. So, let me move that right there. Well, that's because, yeah, there we go. This gapped down, so I anticipate a gap to fill, and it did to the upside, closing out at 135.26, touched right here. So this obviously is no longer in play. I did not clean up my chart, so I'll do that with you so you can see what I do. Oh, this is when I was giving price points here, so that's for something else. And that is a different gap. Let me just delete this one. And this gap closed out right here. So that's done as well. Can you imagine getting this for 126 again? No way. That's going to be a long ways away to get back to that level. All right. I'll clean this up little by little, but just wanted to see what other gaps to place. Notice this one, we gapped up, so I anticipate a gap down to fill, and it did right here. And on the RSI, we are looking like we are headed down. So price on the daily time frame could follow suit to the south side. On the weekly, going down, we hit the overextended area, and naturally I anticipate a pullback, so we could be going down on the weekly as well, just to catch our breath, consolidate base for possibly another leg up. We've already, well, we hit a different price target, but the 1-year price target is now 222. Click this, see forecast. After that, the next target will be 358. That's a long ways off. Thousands of trades in between to get us there. But we can swing trade and have some fun on the way up and obviously on the way down. And on the monthly, we are not overextended yet, but getting there. But if we do hit that, don't expect it to stay. We'll crack it and then start to make our way down again, possibly to get a better buy-in and then another leg up. Now that's Amazon. Because the market was up today, I want to show you SQQQ if you like to go short. So when the market is up, this goes down. When the market is down, SQQ typically goes up. So I'm going to just show you this on the 5-minute time frame because it's just easier to give you daily price action, because on the daily, the weekly, the monthly, it gets boring. All right, ignore this line. That is a previous buy-in. I no longer have it. I've sold out. All right, we ended the day at 987, down 4.55%. Well, the market ran, so this went down even more. So if the market goes down because we consolidate and we take a breather, this could potentially go up, and this gap could potentially fill. So to the north side, resistance and a potential take profit area, 1001. This gap begins at 1021. Very close to 2 standard deviations, 1023. The gap closes out at 1031, 1036, and 1046. To the south side, for a better buy-in possibly, or if your account is cracking, 978. Another potential buy-in, 966, and 955. The RSI is turning up, and that gap filled. This gap, oh, let me clean this up. I also bought some here at 1116, sold out some at a different buy-in at 1120, it looks like. So ignore the pink and the green lines. Those are buy and sell lines that I mark out. Okay, that touched there. To the south side, we fell even more and then started to run up. So we have a gap up here as well, but we are not in the channel, not in the zone. Note the downward channel that we are still in on the 5-minute time frame. But that will eventually take us to 1107. Now, I want to go over now NOW. This is part of Vanguard's ticker. They own this stock within the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. So it's been a while since I took a look at this. We ended the day at 760.57, up 5%. The 1-year price target, 859.69, which represents a 13% return from where we are. And from where we are, resistance is 760.57. I'm going to grab a drink of water here. Another level of resistance and a potential take profit area, 770.97. And should we be so lucky as to get to 4 standard deviations from here, which I don't think we will, not in one day, 780.24. I mean, we could, but if we were down here, definitely not. But the potential is there. So support and a potential buy-in area, 743.94. Another potential buy-in area, 728.24. I like to play more conservatively and buy down here, here, or here. Take profit here, 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 or here. So 728.64, 725.94. This gap closes out at 721.88. And if we close out there, I will anticipate a bounce to the upside, 717.11 and 707.74. There is no way in heck that we will get to this level from up here in one day on Thursday. Not happening. I mean, some major event would have to get us to that level and to wick us down there or take us down there. And this gap, I see this one. When you start looking for gaps, you just can't not see it. So we gapped up, so I will anticipate a gap to the south side. Change out my color here. That looks too pink. Let's change that again. There we go. That will start at 7:05:31 to the south side. Obviously, we are in an upward channel, moving away from this target. This is something just to be aware of in the big picture when we reverse course, because nothing just continues to go up without crashing. Okay, this one will take us to the upside, and it touched right here. This is no longer in play. Touched at roughly 743.93, and then we are at resistance, and you know what happens at resistance. People will take their profits and they will run, they will lock in and they will leave, and you will be left up there holding the bag. Unless, of course, you're investing, you set it and you forget it, don't panic. Note here, when we hit support, the bounce, sell off, buy in, and buy in here. And now I'll anticipate a little bit of a sell-off as people ring the cash register. Now I'm going to show you this on the daily. It's been a long time since I've looked at this. I've actually not gone through and given you these numbers. I've tracked this for myself as low as back in March of 23 at 432.90. So note, falling down here, bouncing at support on the daily. And again, this is going to give you different buy and sell signals on the daily time frame. Now, the next one I want to go over, because now I've looked at the highest running one that I'm tracking to the lowest one, which is Archer Daniels Midland. Well, I'm on the daily time frame. I might as well just show it to you here. I would like to buy in on this one, but I missed my opportunity when I tracked it at $52. But oh well, there are plenty of other things I want to play. Okay, for your targets on the daily, bigger picture, I like to troll on the monthly, but I'll just give you the daily. 71.42 to the upside. I'm not even going to give you the outer bands because we're not even close, not even there. And 47.40. I will definitely buy in if we make it back down to here. Now, let's give you the price targets for Thursday. Option R to reset if you're on a Mac. And this gap, I'm just going to close this out because it touched already to the south side, maybe right there. Sometimes it just looks like it tickles it, and I think it actually touched it. So that's to the south side at 60.23. And then we started to run, couldn't quite get our mojo, and then we're back down here, up, and then here. So at 60.08, down 2.58%, resistance, the middle of the trend and the baseline where all price goes through to get to the upside or to the downside. And remember, this line always recalculates and changes depending upon the time frame that you are playing in. All right, we to the north side, 60.41. This gap takes us to, let me see how it got wonky because I went on a different time frame. So be aware of that. 60.31, 61.42, 61.62, 61.96, and 62.49 to the south side. 59.33, 58.82-ish, and 58.31. Okay. And let me just check out the triple Qs. since I did the SQQs. Okay, so we are at 452.90. Up 1.56%. Tap this up. So resistance takes us to 454.19, 455.84, 457.46, 450.95, 447.99, 447.60, closing out here this gap at 446.38, 446.01, and 444.35. All right, that does it for me. That is a look at, let's see, what did I do? SQQQ, NOW, ADM, and the triple Qs, and I'm missing one, but if there is a ticker that you would like me to go over, please let me know, and have a great trading day.